for GIANX, I love that they go for this pick because for EMEA, Lotus, and for the entire world, we're speaking about champions here if we are realistic, and GIANX, it really wants to go on this run. Lotus is such an important map. Most of the teams love it, or at least can play it. It can be a safe net for you, and it's something that, just like Corrode, we were saying, you need reps on, you need to get good on. And both of these teams used to run the Tejo. So coming into today, they can both surprise. They can maybe, you know, we get to see the second Tejo of this stage. But all of that preparation that was for GIANX on that first map cannot come on this second one.
Well, luckily for us, Agent Select is coming in hot, fresh, delicious. No Teos, but...
Oh, Sociable is back in the chamber.
Yeah.
Do you like that meeting? Yeah,
Sorry,
I was like, am
I didn't realize we
okay.
were locked in. I was thought they were like teasing us, but I forgot that we're now locked in.
We're immediately
Deadlock
locked in.
chamber. My gut is telling me no, but sociable and chamber.
But your body.
The sociable chamber I like. Going for a deadlock chamber as a combo on this map is very strange. Not having the Viper seems like an odd choice to me.
So the thing that we did last time we saw this map is you guys very eloquently highlighted, hey, retakes are going to be really weak for the double sentinel comps that we saw. I'm really curious, is there anything that stands out to you immediately right off the bat that we need to keep our eye on? A weakness in either of these compositions, a hole in either of the plans that these teams are bringing? a
Sociable on the chamber, I think it's an important one because he's going to try and go for those first and opening duels the same way that we were seeing those duels onto Mount. Sociable has to do the same.
I think it's going to be, can Sociable get value against camera, prowlers, Viper walls, boombots? It might be too much for him.
It might be too much. That's a lot of words that Minnie just said. A lot of utility to be scared of. Haza, Cairo, take it away. Let us know how you guys are feeling about this one.
Yeah, look, I'm scared for Minnie's gut health. All those feelings that he's having. It was, what, GX in the first map. Now it's BBL with this chamber again, one which we all remember from Sociable on Pearl way back in sort of the start of the year. Could it be the addition that they need here as we are now living life post-Tejo? Praise the Lord.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I think that there is a lot of good points on the deck, especially this one of the chamber. It's a 56% win rate for BBL when it comes out, so it's not fully convincing for me, but we'll see exactly how it works out on B main. And Levin starts out with a great couple kills. Grabinho, though, 2 quick ones back.
We certainly didn't need to wait for long. Perfect in a tenuous position here, able to win the fight against Westside, and it's so important that he does. Alleviates pressure towards the sand side, and Magnum does the rest. Between the two of them, they've got the pistol on the board. BBL with both.
Yeah,
openness. There you go. There
cheers, mate. No, it's a good start. It'll get the buy-in and get things working, and I think there's a lot of good icebreakers there, especially Levin getting on the board. I think it's good to, again, highlight the fact that Levin, this time, isn't actually on the Jet. He's on the Raze, which, let's be honest, we haven't really seen a lot of.
Come on, get pistol, good!
I don't know about you, I could watch those replays all day. Yampi is a bundle of energy, and that's what BBL needs here. Grabinho, backdoor. Robert Dracos on the desk, but oh, what is this? Right behind them. Gone straight for the Nexus.
It's the fact that there's also going to be upgrades for the players to work with. I mean, Sociable has a Marshal in hand, and yeah, players are low, but it's about getting onto the lines and getting clean gunfights. Magnum only has the Ghost to work with.
The position of Cloud and Upper here as well. Creating a bit of a crossfire. Smoke goes up, only makes things even more difficult, so Magnum has to turn to tree.
There's not a lot of initiation utility to get back in either, and Sociable at least gets Dara.
Marshall has its first. Bit of a distraction created by Magnum, but it doesn't last long. Spike not yet worked on. Time running out. GX may not have had the pistol, but the second round is theirs. It is a pay safe card for Thrifty to retaliate.
Yeah, we spoke about miserable rounds to lose in the last map, and that's certainly one of them. That's really tough for BBL. The fact that they lose track of Grubby moving through here, trying to continue to fight, and I feel as if this has always been a problem that BBL have time to time, is the fact that they continue to fight. They're like, they don't want to back down.
Yo, Yampi, bratão! Sit down!
Never back down, never what?
Never give up. Leaves me hanging so often, I felt like I had to do you a favor for once. Nothing in this house. Dresses like me and everything. It's ridiculous. Start speaking Scottish soon.
Oh, well, let's not do that.
Sociable has all of his headhunter bullets here, so that could be quite useful. Know a thing or two about BBL and pistol rounds.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I mean, get a bit of information, the fact that Cloud was there, but you knew that through the utility that was being used. But, I mean, the goal isn't the A side, it's towards C. And the fact that there's a lack of noise, a lack of utility, you would think, maybe they're not going to be here. But instead, no, BBL hold fast on that side of the map, and 5 players are going to hit in towards 11.
In a lot of their defaults, when we had seen them show their theory on this map before, it did result in playing through the middle of the map, setting up C a lot of times towards sand. That's where they're going to end here. Levin has been relieved of his duties, and BBL are setting up for a retake. It's as much damage as they can do. Do have Magnum floating around on the flank, but 2 traps and a cam kind of puts it out of the question.
I mean, you look towards what's left in the pockets of Giant X, there's not a lot. They've got the better weaponry, so that's what we expect. But Magnum finding that may open things up a little bit and force Giant X to move forward, find those fights, which they are doing, and winning them, which is the key aspect of this. Nothing to get too excited about. Magnum does have the Phantom in hand. How much damage can he do? Only 1 more. So, 2 rifles, or 2 buys lost in the end for Giant X, and they'll be happy with that.
And Ara leading the charge once again, picking up that momentum where he left off at the end of Icebox. Seeing that Magnum has the Annihilation available on the deadlock. That is the one ult that comes into play in round number 4. The first full rifle round that we see between the 2 teams, as of course BBL did lose their anti-eco. And in terms of the setup, it's the classic chamber holding the C space, something which GX have had high priority on fighting for.
Typical combo to get on towards the A line, stop anyone from getting out. Sociable though, in the box, won't be known about.
He's playing for 1 here, just to take that peek, catch GX off guard, and that's exactly what he's going to get. Does forfeit some of the space now towards Waterfall, but the job is done as far as he's concerned, and it's West Side as well, so that backline is called into question.
And I'm glad that you highlight that, because we saw last round Magnum try and go for that. So the Giant X try and dedicate a player to hold the flank, and how do they bust through this chokehold right here as Sociable holds on from up above, doesn't decide to go for the peak, instead waits for the race to come through to him, and it's a disaster on the second engagement. Now BBL forced out, Levin not. Rifle in hand, he's doing well. He's even got another one for his trouble, as BBL are holding on fast. They've dedicated a lot of ultimates to this round, and Cloud again continuing to put this into a position that is possibly winnable.
1v2, but Levin will get a quad. Well played from him. BBL tying the scoreline right back up, and I have to say, Cairo, past those missed shots, missed ult from Magnum, Levin just does so much work and they couldn't dig him out. It's like a horror movie.
He's behind you,
beside you.
and speak about horror movies. Here is the villain, Levin, in that round. The fact he gets the showstopper online, feels that it's worth using there. It's 2 big ultimates that, if you look at this comp, will be needed in terms of retakes, and we've already spoken about how much BBL can struggle when they get to retakes.
Feels almost like a non-statement, but when Levin isn't dead in the first 30 seconds, he's a lot more useful. You know, when he has players around him, when he can play to his tune, and unfortunately this time it is the reverse, and GX picking up speed on the way through to the A site. Craziness right now as Zara gets a showstopper of his own online, finds a kill, and now it's a 1v2 the opposite way. Sociable with the op, back into the A site. Spike should be going down at a moment's notice.
Rifles to pick up to get things back towards his side, but remember the TP won't be up for another amount of time, at least 10 seconds, before he can place that down. Both players for Giant X have actually split up.
Same position that Cloud had in post before towards upper. He can catch Sociable here.
He's all the way through to the back side, and Ara doesn't even know about it. This Cloud, as he holds on. Yeah, the angle, good enough for him. Giant X take the advantage in this half.
That zipline is always cursed in a clutch.
Yeah,
the
mate,
amount of
every
times I
time.
see someone, you know, start to lapel, yeah, you're screwed. It's done. Right idea. The Nightfall here as well just means that GX can really scale quickly as Profek gets caught. TPing into his own one-way smoke, really nicely done. Next round is BBL back on pistols.
Yeah. I find it funny, right, that it's... oh, a second actually. It looks as if this is going to be another quick start. You look at the bodies here. Robinho tries to be aggressive. It's Cloud elsewhere that actually gets the first kill. And Robinho's trying to get out. Come on! He's stuck. Lickless trying to defend. The rifles are on the ground, but that's not what you want. Spike down, and then BBL's territory. West side holding on. There's plenty of targets to hit, and he is knocking them down.
Everyone hiding.
West side in a target-rich environment sometimes just feels like an aim lab shoot around. The hat off his head, the spike on his back. GX are C-bound, but Ara is ahead of the play and already starting to repossess some of this neutral ground for his own. It's a 2 versus 2.
The thing is about this, BBL have decided, right guys, we want to have the rifles in hand, so that's what they're going to go for. And it's also the fact that when you look at what Giant X have in terms of health pools, West Side's pretty low, and on top of that, Ara's really only on a outlaw, so if he misses the first 2 bullets, he's gone.
Fortunately, he has 2 bullets and a paint shell, so can slow the fight down to a snail's pace. West side low on the other side of the box. Be careful not to get caught by the spam. Both BBL players on a Phantom, but Ara has hit his first shot, and the second is just set up. Westside weaving around the box. Sociable out in no man's land. GX moving up to a 4th. Not the most convincing against the eco for BBL. Damage control on their behalf as you're looking at heading towards timeout territory now, Cairo.
Yeah. And I think that's the big thing to here is timeout territory when we get close to it. You know what the head coaches and the coaching staff of BBL will be wanting to say here. Just every time I see it, man. But the eco fight looked great. Again, Levin seems to be that real highlight. Already 8 kills, sorry, not 8 kills, it's 10 kills in these first 6 rounds.
You need to be able to convert those advantages, and that's something that BBL were really good at doing in week 1. The stats speak for themselves. 92% win rate from a 5v4. Best in the league. Not something which I think they've been able to call upon all too often. As we said before, different kind of statistics do tend to favor them. They were really good at pistols before. They have win conditions, but I want to see a little bit more than just Levin right now. You are looking at this 1-2 punch, Sociable. What is he offering? And how are they setting him up? Is he really heavily fighting in extremity and giving you all that space with the op or whatever gun it may be? Kind of like how you would with a Yoru? Or is he playing off other people as well? I kind of want to see that first iteration a little bit more.
I agree 100%. I think that when you know that Levin is shooting, there's always that second aspect of, well, BBL are winning. That's typically how it goes, and this is quite uncharacteristic of him. Obviously, you highlighted that through the fact that the advantages are not being converted. We'll look towards C as these barriers drop, and Levin is faced up against 5 players on the other side.
Got Profek with him. It's the best first map for him. Was in form the week before, and maybe that's just what it is. A bad day in the office for BBL, as Gravino has accelerated towards C instantaneously. Alt spawn side, a lot of clearance to be done by BBL. They've already started to make inroads, and oh, how's that caught Ara into the annihilation? Oh, it's sped up quite quickly. Got a first-class ticket.
Yeah, the other aspect of this is the fact that the pit's down for Giant X. This is going to be really hard to get back into for BBL.
Crossfire in front of the smoke. Those matters only made worse. You can look at the health pool of BBL and it's crippled. Aura taking advantage of the situation, and what do you do now? It's a save for BBL more likely than not. Seeing if they can maybe strip away some of the guns on Giant X, as their money isn't completely out of the woods, but keeping plenty alive here.
Teleport's ready.
It's going to be a massive boon to their chances, as this is already 5 rounds.
And there's money in the pocket, so you know that Giant X can now start hunting, look for any stragglers to the BBL hold. They won't find them, so we now move to the next round. I think the other aspect to this is, I kind of want to start 2 conversations here, right? One, in the fact that it is a 3-site map, so typically we have seen defences struggle, but the fact that this is a double Sentinel composition for BBL, and they are losing so heavily in some of these rounds, really starts to worry me.
Yeah, I suppose so. Obviously, Chamber not playing like a typical Sentinel would, but that's where you'd expect a player like Profek to maybe pick up a little bit more of the slack. Early util dump towards A is it's a split buy from BBL here. Neither here nor there, and same can be said for the shots from Sociable. Westside dropped to 9, but not over the threshold of Death's Door.
Everyone for BBL is in the gravity, the pull of this A side of the map, especially after GX have made it even more interesting. As players go from Giant starting to explore elsewhere on the map, and as they do, BBL capitalise. That spike is down, and that's forced the 2 stragglers that were away from the push to have to move quicker as BBL put the forces on here. Holding on, it's just Levin who'll get the last kill. That's one way to respond.
Absolutely, it's a resounding response. It's exactly what BBL needed, sure. It comes down to the final player, Levin the last alive. Yampi getting on the board. Plenty more to celebrate for him, of course. Birthday yesterday, would love to cap it off with a win here. And starting to see that proactivity from the BBL defense that we wanted, attacking the open space, the vacuum, when things go quiet on the GX side of things, which they tend to do mid-round. Where are you looking to try and create advantages for yourself?
To the force in play. It's actually Sociable playing in front of the wall from the deadlock instead. GX look to avoid it entirely and go through B main. And BBL, as always, ready to fight and ready to brawl.
Look at Levin on board with him here, piloting the push round the back. Be lucky to get 2. Sociable needs to get away with something, and he does. Snatches Cloud.
And look at all the information right now towards this A side. Unfortunately, the wall dissipates.
And Westside drops in B main. Right off the back of a round which BBL win by the skin of their teeth. Things look a lot more convincing in the next. Aura and Flickless, the 2 boys from UCAM still alive.
Teleport's ready.
Sociable playing on the front line. That first shot not hitting either the following ones. Aura put on notice, and BBL put Giant X on notice as they win the next one.
Important that they do, bringing this within 1. Money was getting cut fine there, but now you're in op territory. Sociable starting to feel like he can offer a little bit more in that respect. Levin doing his job. I think both extremities under some serious pressure immediately from BBL. Doubling down on the aggression, and it's going to cause a timeout from GX. And this gives us the opportunity to speak about some stuff that has stayed the same for a while for them, because we speak about the amount of change that this roster has been through, but one thing that they've kept the same, even coming out of that torrid stage 1, is the partnership between Cloud and Pipson, that they've put their trust into him, and now maybe, just maybe, things are starting to be repaid.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, if you want to put a number to the story point that you're talking about here, Hazza, it's the fact there's been 10 players through the doors of GX, and I mean, finally finally it looks like they've got a solid 5 that they can depend upon and actually put a bit of hope into. And I mean, even Cloud's IGL and looks like it's convincing a lot of people, starting to win them over. And as we spoke about on the desk through Kukuku and Mini, they were saying that the ideas actually look like their own.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing as well. You even speak of a person like Pibson, right? He's been with Giants since his playing career. Yeah. I mean, there was a stint here and there off elsewhere, but for the most part, he bleeds blue and black, I suppose. It doesn't sound very healthy, but the colours of the jersey, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where are you?
That operator back, not this time the tour de force, but an actual operator which Sociable can work with. And we've seen him get success before. And after that opening engagement and the wall down, Sociable will be able to get on the line. I don't know about this round from Giant X in the opener. They've created a question mark, but it's so easy to clear for BBL.
Yeah. And I find it interesting that we do have both towards this side of the map as well, with the mesh and the operator. Usually it's sort of one or the other, right?
Yeah,
controlling the extremity.
Have to know what C after that Prowler through B main.
Classic GX, this is a space that they want to try and fight into. Door on a swivel means that there is support at a moment's notice. Both cages invested to aid the cross, but time is starting to wear thin, and it's into Sociable's op that they're looking once again.
Yeah, GX look as if they're floundering, if I'm honest, Hazza. It's so readable, and BBL are doing so well. Look at all the information they have and all the extremities.
Same as the prior round, the only difference is there are no kills, not a drop of blood hitting the canvas, and we've reached the 30-second mark. Finally, the green light for Giant X. TP across, Prophet's already here. Ara's cottoned onto it though. Comms for the rest of the team, perhaps it's Levin leading the line instead. 2 back, Yumpy still alive, playing from Bend, dropped, Sociable arriving, but needing a little bit more. Just a headhunter bullet on either player would knock them off of their perch, but the spike goes in instead, and GX have a man advantage despite the weak health pool.
Magnum's still so late to try and support Sociable here.
And it's not going to catch any player either. Horn dropping over the back. Great timing to take the peak on the chin. GX swing across BBL's jaw and leave them empty-handed yet again. 6 rounds to 4 now. Building on that lead again.
Especially when you see how well BBL mid-round from the defense in terms of their prowlers through B main, the fact that Sociable gets that early line and they're able to rotate in towards this C site, but Giant X are just shooting.
Come on!
They are not missing. And Ara's getting fired up as well. 14 and 5 now. 11, 17 and 7. Not a player else on BBL hitting double digits. Both raising the roof for their own teams, quite literally. A Sociable on the angle this time will not miss with a rifle in his hands.
That's a few rounds now that he's been able to peek out, get a kill and get out, giving nothing away to GX, which is going to be frustrating as they look to try and make the numbers even.
Shadows traveling.
Another 5 versus 4 for BBL. Struggled to convert them so far today. There's a trap here for Sociable, but he's playing over the shoulder of it. Still on a very tight angle, but as he drops off, that's when the peak comes in. And he has missed his chance for now.
That is true. Open the door. Levin's still worried about outside of C Mound. The only question mark is really this A space. As Cloud moves up, he gets caught.
So BBL will extend their advantage. It becomes a 4 versus 2 when the dust settles. Prophet dropping off on C just a little bit. He feels like the player in the crosshairs right now. Only Westside to duel him, but wins it. Emerging from the smoke victorious. Fabinho still has a lot of ground to cover if he wants to join up with his teammate and play as a pair.
Oh no, he's facing into 2.
He's working off the information instead and may even be looking towards the A side of the map. Ill-advised. Too many ideas coursing through his brain. So BBL bring us within touching distance again. Another very close half that we're getting here, Cairo.
Yeah. And the question I have for you, Hazza, now, as we're in this position, we know what the potential scoreline could be, 6-6 or 7-5, is what would you see as a successful half for this double Sentinel that BBL have right now?
I think it's difficult to say with how aggressive we know that they like to play. It's those more aggressive looks that have actually looked better for them.
Yeah.
Coming into the second half, you know the protocols they like to play, the fundamentals, the VALORANT, as it has been coined with him now firmly at the helm. You're looking at this final round, them tying up the scoreline, giving them a serious chance, and the utility which they will be dumping into rubble early.
There's a lot of information for both sides. It's Hannah's shorty and his rifle will get the value caught through the annihilation as there's still fights ensuing on the site. Oh, close to it. Magnum able to get the kill that he was promised. Now there's more to be and try and get...
Oh, the Sociable's already here. He's all the way through. This is the chance! Sociable with a Red Bull clutch. And we will have a tied game at the half.
That we will, and it's again through BBL's aggression and their ability to recuperate after losing so many players. We'll find out exactly how their attack will go after a quick break.
Başka bir şey?
So far between BBL and Giant X on Lotus, it's been a battle of the raises. 11 on 17, Ara on 16 kills respectively. And well, both teams have put on a show so far.
Yeah, they definitely have. I think BBL will probably still be happy to see that defense side go. Really struggled with the retakes in their opening game. Only a 24% conversion, and they didn't win a single one in that first half. The thing is though, they're now moving on to the attack. And if my memory serves, they didn't win a single round on attack on Icebox.
That's going to be the worrying thing to consider here. As they start things off, majority through B main, and Sociable gives away that first blood.
It's those sheriffs, man. Buy a sheriff on the pistol, just equals stocks every single time, and arrows are starting to skyrocket as Flickless, he slightly overdoes it there in defense of his own site. There is support starting to now flood through main behind the Viper wall as the spike is yet to go in.
BBL look for a ways of escape from that B site as they try to go through the Hobbit door. Instead though, they stick around and there's a player to re-clear.
Well, I mean, the barrier mesh has dropped towards Waterfall. It should be up for most of this post-plant. You've got both sensors towards A side. That's where West side has just been posted up, bookmarking the space. The other player is Grabino. He's still embedded in main, and with that kill, it turns the numbers even further in GX's favor.
Yeah, 2 players to the good. All you need to do is trade things down, although BBL...
2v2.
That's going to be easier. I mean, the other player all on his own is West side, and Prophet gets 2 on his own, putting an advantage towards BBL, and they'll get both pistols on Lotus.
Prophet plays best with his back to the wall. Honestly, that game against Heretics the other day, the Sunset, should have ended 13-6. For the 5 rounds that they won, majority of them spurred on by Prophet. It's not been the best start to the day for him, but it's moments like this that get you going. It was a brilliant bit of utility here from Magnum, the net, to just set up the play.
Let me kiss your forehead, David. Let me kiss your forehead. Mwah!
But this is the round that we need to take note of, because last time it was a thrifty for GX.
Oh, but 5 classics, Cairo. They couldn't.
Oh, don't
They
say
wouldn't.
that.
They shouldn't.
You are chancing.
Oh.
You're chancing your luck. So Giant X at this moment in time. Prophet though looks to be the one to stop it.
Couple of missed shots here and there. Prophet trying to trace Flickless back through the wall. Cloud, actually, sorry. It's all GX players over on A right now. C is open for the taking. That's where BBL can post their feet up, but there's little in it. They are already here.
Yeah, it's been a foot race that Giant X haven't really lost by that much of a margin. And
Great mesh.
utility to work with. It's not really hitting, it's just BBL just overwhelming what was on that side. Spike will go down.
This is one of the reasons why BBL should still be a threat on the attack side, the deadlock.
Yeah.
And the chamber as well. They are much more offensive sentinels than if you were running a Vice, for example, or a Cypher. The Gravnet coming up often as a signature ability means that he can be such a nuisance. And in these post plants, shutting down lanes, stopping the flood of bodies back there, the blue shirts on the GX side, that counts for a lot.
Yeah, for me, I understand what you're saying about the deadlock, but with the chamber, if I'm honest, I think the jury's still out on it. I'm not fully convinced. I mean, we look at Sociable's Sociable stats right now, 6 to 10 at the minute, and it's mostly been first bloods.
Nice.
Don't worry, mate. I'm not saying he's playing any good. I just think the pick works on paper. It's fine.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
It is, but all good. As you said, jury's still out. 2 rounds in it. BBL looking for a change of fortune. Arrow the first line of defense, as he has been so many times. His B site is fortified by Flickless's wall. They've really bolted down the hatches here. Be a bit of an issue, and Westside does give the audio, but BBL don't look to scale just yet.
Oh, hello. I don't know about that. Oh,
Yeah.
Sociable has got the 2 kills.
Well, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? On 5 HP, he's going to get another one. That's a triple kill for Sociable, but the round isn't done just yet. He's paved BBL's golden road. Not quite to Paris, but the A site.
Yeah, Paris is well far away for BBL at this moment in time. Sure, they might be the gatekeeper in terms of champions points, but that could easily change with a loss in this matchup as Flickless and Westside separated, come in at different angles.
Toxin screen down.
Flickless, and oh, there he was again. The young 29-year-old rookie from Turkey. Evan does trade it out though, and jokes aside, Westside now into 2v1, which feels rigged against him. Multiple angles to contend. Levin can gain info. There is no half stick. There is no round. BBL up to 9.
And 1 away from double digits, which is going to be an important mark that we all have to take note of, an important milestone, and how BBL are going to be able to achieve it is against a thrifty round. It's a lovely round from Sociable as well. Just after you said that...
No! But that's the theory, right? He has the TP to fall back on. He's making as much space as he possibly can. He knows if he goes down swinging and gets a couple of kills, I mean, even the one, has set them up. So it's not just Levin leading the line. There is someone else there behind it. See, look, it came together in the end, and now GX have got some thinking to do because this one has very quickly gotten out of control.
Yeah, that it has, and it's again something that we just spoke about just before we were speaking about Sociable, was the fact that it is against a thrifty round, right? That defense can sometimes fall on hard times, and that it has here. And I mean, you can see it in terms of the buys right now on your screen. Sociable is going to be picking up an outlaw, so I imagine it'll be a lot more labelled approach on the attack when they're facing up against this, because Giant X a couple of times have tried to create a trap, right? They've tried to invite BBL in and then hit them with a hook. Whether that's going to land this time is something entirely different, but it's one to keep note of when we move into this next round.
There.
I know before when we had GX on this map, it was the movable object, was it? The stoppable force? One of the two. But stage 1 feels like a long way behind this team. The question is, can they really live up to that Dark Horse mantle and take down the team which have usurped it from them? Through their own merit, of course. Of course, GX have never really had the results that have convinced you fully. They've just sort of been in that halfway house where they take a map and then sort of into the second and third as the night gets long that the problems arise. How has that experience shaped them? Lots of pressure put towards A. BBL with an immediate reaction.
Yeah, that's how you would expect this round to go with the way that BBL had set up. Wait for Giant X to make the first move. There's utility here to try and clear out, which BBL have done so successfully. The doors are open, the spike can go down, and there's, again, double Sentinel utility you have to try and get through when you're on an eco for Giant X.
Center towards CT. Ara does trigger it, drops out, allows Flickless an opportunity to fight back in the clear air. 4v4, Magnum sort of solo holding, committed to the corner. They're still claiming the kills with Profek and Sociable onto form themselves, and the ults continuing to build for BBL as they reach double digits. This next round is where those last 60 seconds went for GX.
Yeah, I mean, this is them building up round by round, ready to release the power that they've been building up. Really, kind of like for Dracos, maybe watching kind of like a set W, you know? You get able to like take the damage and then let it go.
You know, with all these league references, let it be known you are the one who ints minis games.
Don't you dare say that?
Sorry. Anyone else?
Listen, I'll bring up those bot lane stats if I need to.
Look, I'm just a fly on the wall, as we are to this GX push. A split through B main and C. Out on sand, and look, it's just Yampy left. That one was over in an instant, but it's a complete change of pace. Something which GX have been good at doing when they need to. The slight problem for me is, can you make that repeatable?
Yeah, I agree. Where does Yampy even go? He's got a minute to work with, right? Like, money in the pocket.
Tell you where he goes. To his microphone, and he tells his team what it is else that they want to do.
Yeah, I think like what they said, basically an impromptu timeout that he's able to use to talk to his team and kind of work things out. And that's why we're seeing him take so long to go back to the spike and attempt a 1 versus 5.
He knows the situation is screwed, so extends the play a little longer. Used to be called a French timeout back in the day, right? The teams that pioneered it, regional thing perhaps, but given a chance, you know, shots in the dark. BBL will not be winning this round, but that comes to no surprise. It's an in-zone flawless, in fact, to make the play that GX did and to win it so convincingly. I mean, BBL were not expecting this at all. Players looking every which way. Okay.
Maybe a bit of luck there? Maybe.
Never.
But the biggest aspect to this is that it was a reaction to what BBL had done in the previous round.
Sure, and it was what I said before. Is it repeatable? I'm seeing 3 players at the C barrier.
But there's nobody at B.
There is a trap and a wall, though.
Yeah, there is. Again, taking their time. It's players noted, and that was 2 that would have been held through the grav net used. As they now begin to assault towards A, and it's only Westside. He has no utility to support this, so he's probably better to drop out.
I mean, it's only Westside on the east side. Everyone else on the opposite end of the map. He's got to come up here, huge here. He's not going to get anything, leaves empty-handed. Ara's ult does make light work of Magnum. And GX have all of grass at their disposal. In the meantime, the offense is looking elsewhere.
Yeah, the BBL are now looking for expansive control as they've lost the main space, and now Giant X are starting to move through it.
They could very quickly find themselves a 2v1 against Grabinho here as well. He's the only player in CT.
This is going to be a big fight, but the players don't go for it. More distracted by the side push, and Ada has got 3 for his trouble.
Such an open plant.
It's whether they can get onto it though, as Levin managed to get 1, and Profek now known about, forced out of silent drop and dropped himself. Giant X reduce that gap once again, and it's only down to 2.
Such huge value from the timeout as well. I mean, to go for that play, and then this round, kind of lean into a similar setup, and look at the retake. I think it's Magnum's unlucky not to land his ult there before going down.
I really like this from Giant X because they're playing into BBL's response from Yampi.
No.
Well, but the point is that Giant X are just reading into BBL's tendencies here. They've even picked up an Odin to stop any locks. It's Grubby that's actually using that towards A.
Yeah, he's picked up the Odin. He's going to be playing from tree. You've got spammable walls here for him to try and go for.
Bring them down.
Looking back at the footage when he was on Koi, I did it so you didn't have to. He started A on the last Lotus that he played, all but 1 round, so it's very expected for him to be there. The spam catches nothing though. BBL start to embed themselves in the middle of the map, take some of this control as Levin is forced to use the nade to break the traps again. He only gets 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance to look through it, right? Or create a kind of lock time and a question mark, but Giant X are holding on to that, so that question mark won't be able to be used. At the same time, though, a re-clear comes through, so Sociable now known about, and a Viper's Pit deposited.
West side, so cheeky. Takes the timing as the pit is flooding outwards, catches Sociable in the gap, finds the first blood of the round. In the meantime, Profek has jumped between the lines. Ara is needed to be considered here. From the broken door, he strikes. Levin sent packing. As the rest of BBL will be very shortly.
Spike finally on the ace side, and Yampi gets caught off guard by Flickless. So it's a 2 versus 5, which BBL have to try and win. They've already got off to a great start.
They're boxed into the site again, and with that kill not coming through from Profek, there is nowhere to fight. They are against the wall.
Yeah, this is something BBL have always been good at, and it's just Magnum. He's already found the first in a 1 versus 4, but has to try and fight through a snake bite, and he'll just dissolve into nothing. Kind of like what BBL have done on this attack.
Yeah, BBL, so many people getting excited about them, like the candy floss at the fairground, and it started raining in Berlin.
It feels like a TikTok restaurant. You get excited about something that could potentially be the next big thing, and right now it looks like it's fallen into nothing. They just can't deal with the height, the pressure of the position that they find themselves in.
I was really wondering where you were going with that.
You like it?
Yeah, I did. I'm just glad you know, didn't mention Labubus. Yarda pants Labubus.
Nah, man, I'm not letting you away with that.
It seems like a good idea until you realise it costs 70 euros. But here we go, timeout again. Euros? I know, I didn't believe it either. And you wouldn't believe this scoreline if you had arrived in a time machine from any other point in the season. GX closing in on BBL right now. 3 rounds in a row. Timeout called, Thinky there by Pal's side, and something we haven't said is, you know, he is sort of intimately aware of the players on the other side, and maybe that plays a factor. He was at UCAM since the end of 2023, and in those 2 years, he worked directly with Grabino, and more recently with Flickless and Ara.
Yeah, and I think as well, this is something that the Tier 2 system, you always find little nuggets like that, right? Like players who have played against one another.
No, I was a big fan of Flickless' goodbye message, actually. Didn't speak Spanish. He said, "Oh, you're forever my Calvito." And I thought, oh, that sounds really sweet. It means bald. So, no love lost, I'm sure, in the server right now anyway, as we dive into a round where GX can look to tie things up against a bad buy for BBL.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. It is a bad buy, but Levin does have a showstopper, and if it gets into a bad spot, GX do have that Nightfall, the Fade ultimate to retake with.
They're committed to the initial spam, but all it does is cover fire for Westside, playing in Hobbit, but feeling no pressure on his shoulders as this blanket coverage means that BBL are stuck, and look at the spike. Profit on the wrong side of the door.
Yeah, and Profit doesn't even have an ultimate to try and grab it under the while they go.
Okay, is Westside aware of this? 2 players to face him, can't correct in time. Profit finds that one.
And let's look at Ara. He's nowhere near this part of the map at all, still moving through spawn. So this is going to be a straight up 3 versus 3 on the A side.
Oh, but Levin, through the decay, the spam, and everything else, BBL are caught in a closed net. The map's starting to feel minuscule for them as their chances continue to fade. Ara's opening up the angle. Sociable's walking into trouble. 10-all. And while that isn't going to be the best buy you see from BBL in the next couple of rounds, it was still an opportunity and another which GX will nail on.
We go back all even once again, and we now we need to start having a wider conversation about BBL and crunch games.
Nice!
Games where
Boys,
that
I
are
have to do something
important
crazy, my bad.
and positions that they find themselves in, right? Sure, we've seen them do great runs, but in this split, they are the gatekeepers in champs points, especially if they win this game. They'll be all even with vitality and waiting for them to play later in the week.
Sound sensor up. Barrier deployed.
I don't want to find yourself in that position for GX. They need that deep run, the deepest. I'm talking grand finals. Who knows, anything is possible. VALORANT after all, and Sociable is very lucky to get away with 1 point of health there with a snake bite, snatching at his coattails.
And Ara forced all the way back through the Prowler's annihilation to clear out backside. Giant X are really committing to these rotates, and you need to be aware of Sociable, who's through B main. Spike denied.
Oh, and it's a fake of the net from Cloud, gets one more. Magnum at the double though, 2v3. Same 2 players that converted the pistol from before, or 3v3, sorry, but where's Sociable? Still 1 HP, Westside's got him dead to rights, and he is now.
Yeah, but it's a 2 versus 2 on site, and both players need to wait for Westside to get into position, because they're retaking with an op.
What? Oh, Ara's done so much damage already with the first canister of the shorty. Satcheling out, he wants the next. He'll find it onto Magnum. Prophet last left. Just to dodge the ult, the TP is a reserved one. As is the plant. What? Cowered round the corner. Prophet's managed to claim one more. 3 points of health, but less than 3 seconds. The defuse has been stuck by Ara. The balls of steel will seal round 11 for GX, and that train continues.
It's heartbreak for BBL, but it's 5 in a row for Giant X. This is now starting to head into the realms of possibility. I can't believe that BBL are capitulating like this.
Yo, Yampi! Yampi, yo!
Don't think they've responded just yet. 5 rounds?
Well, they need to respond with a round, Kyra. That's now 5 in a row.
Sociable's picked up the op on this attack side.
Tracking the grav net as it's going to land towards upper. That was the set piece to put Prophet in a position of power. The spike is on Yumpy though. And at the back of this pack, it means he's late to the B side.
And well, Giant X are not, because you look at the players close by, they're ready to go at a moment's notice.
Exactly.
Sociable's late through A, that's the other thing to note here.
And 4 utility belts on a few GX players. I'm looking at the nade and tether combo. It is coming in a little bit disjointed, doesn't catch a single player, but Magnum behind the wall is an issue. There needs to be trades on site if BBL are to win this. Or maybe they just need Levin's judge. The net again finds huge value from Magnum, and it's Levin to end it all. Finally BBL reach 11 rounds, but it's a tight game.
Yeah, it's a labelled attempt to reach 11. They should have been here a lot earlier, but they are not out of the woods just yet. I mean, the next round, if it's won by Giant X, that bye could get suspect, but it's also the same for BBL if they win it. You look at what Giant X have in their back pocket. This is a big swing round.
It begins.
I've said many times before, BBL have struggled to stop teams in their tracks when they begin to pick up speed. Is this first round enough to post them on 12 first? GX take that next step into the unknown, really. We had no idea that the roster would look this good given the time. But a couple months away seems to have done so much. from those debutantes to now.
Still, it's 2 rounds away, and that 2 rounds can feel like a canyon to try and bridge.
Indeed.
Now, I mean, there was a player known about through Hobbit. It wasn't Gravino. It was Cloud, who was in that position before. Sociable's done so well to scale BBL up through here, on towards the A site, and get that spike down. And with Giant X being in the position, the buy that they're in, the question is, do you save?
I feel like you have to, yeah. And just taking stock of the ults really quick, Sociable finds 1 more there, which means he will have the tour de force in the next. We did see BBL actually running double ops with him and Levin before. I'm wondering if maybe coming into what will be round 24, do you want to see if you can play for a pick early on, get something from that? Also think about Magnum as well. He's 2 off and leading this chase to try and find the final couple players. But it's Aaron.
Go get him.
He's been lights out, and the kill leader so far in this map. BBL will find that number 12 that has eluded them for what seems to be the longest time. Finally, we are on map point for Lotus, which could potentially send us to what everyone wants, Road.
Yeah, everyone?
I'd say everyone, well, apart from...
No,
I would. Giant X, I think, are the only ones who
That's
don't want
true.
it at this point, for sure.
And looking at things here, that operator has been dropped to the ground. Sociable is on a judge. Doesn't look like anyone else is going to be picking it up. And for GX, the buy is ropey at best. BBL doing it their way and playing max regulation. As the whole server is alerted. Sociable is online and you can't give him that respect anymore. Cloud in the corner, door shutting at his back. Aris here as well. The nade is what they need to bail out.
Win that space back, which is important for Giant X. And as for BBL here, they have the options to go for a B split instead. No, it's all players on the A side of the map.
Worried about a potential reaction. Their players main, you walk into so many different angles.
Taking a breath, seeing if anyone's going to peek them.
Sociable holding for the jump, but Flickless
Teleport's ready.
just showed the shoulder there. Finally, the Hobbit push comes in. It's a flash, and Magnum's ult searching elsewhere will claim Flickless, but the kills in the feed are blue. GX with the first couple. It will go 4v3 once the ult is said and done, but there's still a player towards A. That's Westside, has the trap, and the spike is down. It's not yet moving.
It's whether they can find Westside here in 3. That's going to be the big kill in this round.
With the Bucky too. Up close and personal, trying to force OT, but it may not come down to his hands. It might be Sociable. Levin by his side in the 2v2, both Razors up and kicking in the server, but it's Levin with the lay of the law right now. Ara's got to win the 1v2. He has his first. And while health will not be an advantage for him, the shots have been sharp.
Both players have been so good. They've been hitting head after head. And it's finally these two to decide whether we go to overtime or whether we go to that 3rd map.
Levin the bright spark at the start of the year, and Ara now looking to take his place on the throne. Levin flicks to the eruption on the BBL side of the stage. We are going to corrode after all. And between the two Razors, it's the young Turk to take them there.